Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Active Listening. I'm Alyssa, and today we're diving deep into the colorful world of English idioms. You know those quirky phrases that make you pause and think, what on earth did they just say? For instance, have you ever heard someone mention, they finally kicked the bucket, and found yourself wondering, wait, what exactly happened there? Or perhaps a friend whispered, don't spill the beans, leaving you to ponder. What kind of beans are we even talking about? English is absolutely brimming with these kinds of expressions, idioms, where the meaning is completely different from what the individual words literally suggest. They can be a bit confusing at first, but understanding them is like gaining access to a secret handshake, allowing you to truly connect with native speakers and elevate your conversations. Today, on English Active Listening, we're going to demystify some of the most common and intriguing English idioms. We'll explore them through relatable stories, give you plenty of examples, and even some chances to practice right along with me. Get ready to discover the hidden meanings behind phrases like kick the bucket and spill the beans, and learn how to use them confidently to make your English sound more natural and dynamic. Trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll be understanding English like never before. So let's get started. Idioms are absolutely fascinating, aren't they? They act like a secret code that native speakers use all the time, and truly mastering them will make your English sound incredibly natural and fluent. Today, we're going to tackle 5 really common idioms. We'll start with to bite the bullet, then move on to hit the nail on the head, followed by to break a leg, and finally, we'll unravel to kick the bucket and to spill the beans. Let's begin with our first idiom, to bite the bullet. This phrase means to face a difficult or unpleasant situation with courage and endurance, even when you really don't want to. Just imagine a soldier in olden times, perhaps without anesthesia, biting down on a lead bullet during a painful operation to prevent screaming. That vivid image gives you a real sense of where this expression comes from. It's about enduring something truly tough and accepting a hardship because there's simply no other choice. Let me tell you a story about my friend, Sarah. Sarah had been planning her dream vacation to Italy for years. She saved every single penny, researched every city, and was just buzzing with excitement. But then, just 2 weeks before her trip, her car completely broke down. It was a major repair, and the cost was absolutely enormous. It was almost all of her vacation savings. Sarah was devastated. She came to me almost in tears, saying, I don't know what to do. My car is essential for my job, but this repair means no Italy. I listened to her, and then I told her, Sarah, this is incredibly tough, but you might just have to bite the bullet and fix the car. Your long-term stability and your job are more important than a 2-week trip, no matter how much you've looked forward to it. And that's exactly what she did. It was incredibly hard for her. She canceled her trip, used her savings for the car, and for a few weeks, she was really down. But she bit the bullet, she faced that significant financial strain head-on. And now her car is running perfectly, and she's already diligently saving for her next dream vacation. She truly handled a very unpleasant situation with courage and remarkable resilience. To give you a few more examples, you might say, I really didn't want to work overtime all weekend, but I had to bite the bullet to finish the project on time, meaning I had to force myself to do something unpleasant but necessary for the greater good. Or, after months of avoiding it, John finally had to bite the bullet and admit he needed help with his studies, meaning he had to face an unpleasant truth about himself and accept it, even though it was hard. You could also hear, the company had to bite the bullet and lay off some employees to stay afloat during the economic downturn, meaning they had to make a very difficult and painful decision for the survival of the business. Now, it's your turn. Can you think of a situation where you had to bite the bullet? Maybe you had to do a difficult chore or face a tough conversation. Take a moment to imagine or even say it out loud. How would you use this idiom in your own sentence? Great. Let's move on to our second idiom. To hit the nail on the head. When you hit the nail on the head, it means you have described a situation perfectly, or you have said something that is exactly true or correct. It's like you're building something, and with one perfect swing, your hammer lands precisely on the nail. There's no doubt, you've got it absolutely right. This idiom beautifully emphasizes precision and accuracy in an observation or statement. Let me tell you about a recent team meeting I had. We were discussing a persistent problem we'd been having with our website. Customers were finding it hard to navigate, but we just couldn't quite pinpoint why. We'd had several brainstorming sessions, but nothing felt quite right. People were suggesting new designs, different color schemes, adding more features. But none of it truly addressed the core issue. Then our newest team member, David, who had been quietly listening, finally spoke up. He said, "I think the problem isn't the design itself, but the lack of a clear path for new users. They get lost because they don't know where to start, which leads to frustration." And just like that, everyone in the room looked at each other and nodded in complete agreement. He had hit the nail on the head. He perfectly identified the core problem that everyone else had somehow missed, cutting through all the less important details. Once we focused on creating a clear, guided path for new users, all our other design ideas started making sense, and our customer feedback improved dramatically. David's insight was absolutely spot on and truly changed everything for us. Here are some more examples. When you said the key to success is persistence and hard work, you really hit the nail on the head, meaning that statement is profoundly and perfectly true. Or, my teacher hit the nail on the head when she explained why my essay wasn't flowing well. Her feedback was precisely what I needed, meaning her explanation was perfectly accurate, insightful, and incredibly helpful. You could also say, his analysis of the political situation really hit the nail on the head. It was exactly what I was thinking, and perfectly captured the complexity, meaning his analysis was perfectly correct and astute. Now, your turn. Think about a time someone said something that was perfectly true, or perfectly described a situation. Maybe a friend gave you great advice, or a teacher explained a difficult concept brilliantly. How would you use "to hit the nail on the head" to talk about it? Try forming a sentence in your mind, or out loud. Excellent, you're doing great. Let's move to our third idiom, to break a leg. This one often surprises people because it sounds like truly bad advice. But actually, to break a leg is an idiom that means good luck. It's most commonly used in the context of performances, like before a play, a concert, an important exam, or even a big presentation. It's a warm, informal way to wish someone success and encourage them. Now, why do we say it? Well, there are a few theories. One popular theory is that actors in ancient times were incredibly superstitious and believed that saying good luck would actually bring bad luck. So they cleverly used the opposite phrase to trick the spirits and invite good fortune. Another theory relates to bowing. If you bow so many times after a truly great performance that you break or bend your leg, it means you've done incredibly well and earned a huge enthusiastic applause. Let me share a story about my little cousin, Emily. Emily absolutely loves to sing, and she was chosen to perform a solo in her school's annual talent show. She had been practicing for months, perfecting every single note. But the night before the show, she was absolutely terrified. She called me, her voice trembling with nerves. "I'm so scared. What if I forget the lyrics? What if my voice cracks? What if no one claps?" I listened to her worries, and then, remembering my own stage fright from years ago, I reassured her. "Emily," I said, "you've practiced so hard. You know this song inside out. Just go out there, have fun, and break a leg." She paused, a little confused by the phrase, so I quickly explained. "It means good luck, sweetie. Go out there and give it your all, and I know you'll be amazing." The next day, I was in the audience, and when it was Emily's turn, she walked onto the stage, took a deep breath, and sang beautifully, her voice clear and strong. She absolutely owned the stage, and everyone cheered wildly. She definitely broke a leg in the best possible way. Here are some more examples. You have a big job interview tomorrow, right? You're going to do great. Break a leg, meaning good luck with your interview. Or before the band went on stage for their sold-out concert, the manager told them, "Go out there and break a leg. Make it a night to remember," meaning perform exceptionally well. You could also hear, "I know you're nervous about your driving test next week, but just relax, focus, and break a leg," meaning do your best and pass the test. All right, it's your turn. When would you tell someone to break a leg? Think of a situation where someone needs some encouragement or good wishes for a performance, a test, or an important event. Try putting it into a sentence. Fantastic! Now let's explore two more incredibly intriguing idioms: to kick the bucket and to spill the beans. First up, to kick the bucket. This is one of those idioms that sounds quite strange and even a little morbid, but it's very common. To kick the bucket is an informal way of saying to die. It's often used lightly or euphemistically, especially in casual conversation, to refer to someone's passing without being overly direct or formal. The origin of this phrase is a bit debated, but one popular theory involves an old method of hanging. When someone was being hanged, they might stand on a bucket or stool. Once the bucket was kicked away, the person would die. It's a rather grim image, but it certainly helps explain the literal connection to the act. Let me give you an example. My eccentric great-uncle Arthur was known for his incredible stories and his lifelong dream of seeing the Northern Lights. He always said, "I can't kick the bucket until I've seen the aurora borealis with my own eyes." He was quite old, and his health was failing, but he held on to that dream with remarkable determination. Last year, his family, knowing how much it meant to him, managed to arrange a trip for him to Norway. And you know what? He saw them. He came back incredibly weak but absolutely radiant. He said, "Well, I've seen them now. I can finally kick the bucket in peace." He passed away peacefully a few weeks later, having fulfilled his greatest wish. It's a way of talking about death without using the direct word die, which can sometimes feel too blunt in certain contexts. Here are some more examples. "My old car is making strange noises." I think it's about to kick the bucket, meaning it's about to stop working permanently or die. Yes, you can even use it for inanimate objects. Or the famous actor, known for his incredible career, sadly kicked the bucket last week at the age of 90, meaning he died last week. You might also hear, I hope I don't kick the bucket before I get to travel around the world, meaning I hope I don't die before I get to travel. Now, this one can feel a bit sensitive, but it's important to understand for natural English conversation. Can you think of a situation where you might hear or use to kick the bucket informally? Perhaps talking about an old piece of technology or a fictional character in a story? Excellent. Our final idiom for today is to spill the beans. To spill the beans means to reveal a secret or to accidentally tell something that was supposed to be kept private. Imagine you have a container full of beans, and each bean represents a piece of secret information. If you accidentally tip that container over, all the beans spill out, and suddenly the secret is revealed. It's usually used when someone reveals something unintentionally or prematurely, often without meaning to. Let me tell you about a surprise birthday party we were planning for our friend, Mark. His wife, Emily, was organizing everything, and she had asked everyone to keep it a complete secret from him. We were all being very careful, coordinating secretly through group chats, making sure every detail was hidden. The plan was to surprise him at his favorite restaurant. On the day of the party, a few of us met up early. Mark was supposed to be running errands with Emily, totally unaware. But then my friend Tom, who is a bit absent-minded, saw Mark on the street and, without thinking, called out, "Hey, Mark. Are you excited for your surprise party tonight at the diner?" My heart just sank. Mark looked completely confused for a second. Then his eyes widened in understanding. Tom had completely spilled the beans. He immediately realized his mistake and slapped his forehead, but it was too late. The secret was out. Mark, thankfully, still enjoyed the party, but the element of surprise was definitely gone, all thanks to Tom accidentally spilling the beans. Here are some more examples. Don't spill the beans about the new product launch to anyone yet. It's still top secret, meaning don't reveal the secret information. Or, my little brother accidentally spilled the beans about my birthday present to me, meaning he accidentally told me what my present was. You could also say, we tried to keep the engagement a secret, but my aunt couldn't help but spill the beans at the family dinner, meaning she accidentally revealed the engagement news. All right, last practice round. Can you think of a time when someone accidentally spilled the beans? Or when you had to be careful not to spill the beans yourself? Try to use the idiom in a sentence. Fantastic. You've just explored 5 very common and incredibly useful English idioms. Remember, integrating idioms into your vocabulary takes time and consistent practice. Don't be afraid to try using them in your conversations. The more you hear them and use them, the more natural and fluent they will become in your everyday English. And that brings us to the end of today's comprehensive lesson on mastering English idioms. I truly hope the stories, detailed explanations, and practical examples helped you understand to bite the bullet, to hit the nail on the head, to break a leg, to kick the bucket, and to spill the beans much, much better. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone else who's learning English, and subscribe to English Active Listening for more lessons specifically designed to help you become a more confident and fluent English speaker. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. What other idioms or confusing English phrases would you like us to explain in future videos? Please let me know in the comments below. Your suggestions are incredibly valuable and help us create the best content just for you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep improving your English. I'm Alyssa, and I'll see you in the next video.